Hello there, folks. This is Alan returning again to back onto Magic the Gathering Arena. It's been a long time and I haven't uploaded anything yet. Yeah, Kaladesh Remastered has come out, but I think given my long hiatus, I just want to kind of recall my skill level, where I'm supposed to be. So I think we're just gonna do some Premier drafts and the card Rising, and maybe draft some Premier draft Kaladesh Remastered later. Just want to ensure that after my long hiatus and time away from Magic, I don't forget anything, and I can basically start with the very essentials, and then hopefully this video can help some of you out. So yeah, I think I hit Mythic this month, but then a couple of days ago I haven't been playing. So yeah, let's just fire off a Zendikar Premier Rising draft, and let's see how well we do. And this is definitely one of my favorite sets of all time. And yeah, just a great set overall for understanding the fundamentals of drafting, synergies, and knowing your sub synergies and sub themes in your respective archetypes, knowing the power level of the cards, etc. as well. Yeah, definitely a great way to get back into Magic after all this time away from Arena. And then I can do some Kaladesh Remastered draft later. Because I haven't uploaded any content on that lately, but it should be a pretty fun set as well, from what I've been hearing. Well, it could always be that final troll that never hits the ready button and we have to restart all over again. Never mind. Pack one, pick one. Premier draft Zendikar Rising. What do we have to find pleasure of opening after our long hiatus away from Magic? Oh, pretty nice, powerful rare. Okay. Nighthawk Scavenger, pretty excellent in most, if not all, black decks. I mean, it's going to be excellent in the black-white life gain deck, where you can gain life after disconnects, and it's pretty decent in the blue-black rogues deck because it does have the rogue tribal type, so it's going to be my first pick here. Definitely best in blue-black, since if you're able to mill the opponent, this can gain a lot of power, but still a great card overall. Looking at the uncommons, there's an Attended Healer if we want to force the white-black life gain deck, or if we have a lot of life gain, this can be a powerful payoff for that deck. Looking at the commons, Into the Royal stands out, as well as the Grotog Bugcatcher. So yeah, looking at these four cards, I would probably still take Attended Healer over Into the Royal and Bugcatcher, but not over Nighthawk Scavenger. This is just a solid first pick, which is a very flexible, powerful card to start draft with. So yeah, let's take the Nighthawk Scavenger, see where we end up. And black is arguably the best color in this set. After taking the Nighthawk Scavenger, we could speculate into some sort of black-green +1/+1 counters archetype. Although the Nighthawk Scavenger is not going to perform at its best in that archetype, it's still a good card in any black deck. But here, I could just stay flexible, just take the Vanquish to weak here, stick with black as a good solid removal spell. Alternatively, the other good common here in this pack would be Rabbit Bites, and it does have neat synergy with the Nighthawk Scavenger, given that it has Death Touch. But I think I'm just going to keep my options open, take the Vanquish to weak, and see where we end up. Alright, here, pretty interesting pack. Usually, typically speaking, black-red isn't a landfall deck, so the Skyclave GOP is not going to perform at its best in that archetype. The black cards are okay. There's a Namaz Skydancer. If we want to move into some sort of blue-black rogues deck, which can enable some mill synergies to enable the Nighthawk Scavenger. Subtle Strike could be pretty nice, as I'll find one of. Blood Price as well, and there's also Ghastly Gloom Hunter if I want to, if I need some sort of card that can accumulate counters in the late game and also get in some nice lifelink hits. So I think I'm just going to stick with black for now. I'm not sure what card I want to take here. If I want to just keep my options available, could just take the random Subtle Strike. Typically speaking, we can always pick up a Blood Price later. Yeah, none of these I really would consider really high pick. I mean, I could just take my Sky Dancer if I want to force blue-black, but still not sure. So I think the Subtle Strike is just a really strong combat trick, and I'll just take it here. Now, after this pack, what is there? There's a Shigiri Shelter, which can be pretty strong if we do end up in black-white as some way to protect our creatures. Could take our first copy of Ghastly Gloomhunter just to keep our options in black. The Ardent Electromancer pretty strong in the red-black party decks as well, but I don't really see it taking over Shigiri Shelter or Ghastly Gloomhunter. Yeah, the best card in this pack is the Shelter, and I'm a big fan of black-white life gain decks, so wouldn't mind just taking it here. Alternatively, yeah, I wouldn't mind taking a Ghastly Gloomhunter, which would be fine in a black-white life gain deck too. But yeah, this is going to be at its best in black-white life gain or green-black +1/+1 counters. It's not going to be super amazing if I'm trying to be in some sort of black party deck of some sort or some sort of tribal deck, but I think I'll just take the Shelter here for now and see where we end up. And a late Bloodchief's Thirst, excellent. There's also the Deadly Alliance, which is great. Could be pretty powerful if we can enable party. Into the Roll pretty late as well, if we want to be in some sort of blue-black rogues deck, but just going to take the Bloodchief's Thirst here. Very flexible removal spell. Still sorcery speed, but it's flexible since you can cast it for one black to kill creature early in the early game, and then in the late game you can just kick this to kill any creature or planeswalker. If this wasn't his pack, probably take the Deadly Alliance, and then we could set up some sort of party black deck, but for now, just take the Thirst to see where we end up. Okay, some late blue-black cards. There's also Malakir Blood Priest, which is quite excellent if we want to end up in a more party-centric focus deck. The blue-black cards here, the Black Bloom Rogue and the Shao Stinger wants to be paired up in some sort of Black Mill deck for the most part, whereas Malakir Blood Priest wants to be in a much more party-centric deck. Not sure which direction I want to end up in. I feel like the Blood Priest plays better with the Shigiri Shelter if we end up in black-whites, but the Black Bloom Rogue and the Shao Stinger better in the blue-black deck. I don't know. I think I could just maybe take the uncommons here, since the commons we can take up later. And yeah, I'll take the Black Bloom Rogue, and if we do end up in blue-black, don't mind having some more mill synergy. So yeah, not sure where I want to end up here. Now I guess if we end up in blue-black, I wouldn't mind Expedition Skulker versus the Zulaport Duelist. Also, Spikefield Hazard is okay. Same with the Teeter Peak Ambusher if I end up in black-red. But yeah, between these two, pretty interesting. Maybe just still stick to black for now, take the Expedition Skulker. Since I do have the Nighthawk Scavenger and the Black Bloom Rogue, which can enable it, this can be a pretty nice 2-drop, since it can be pretty relevant in the late game, be a nice Death Touch creature, and an early game 2-drop that can pressure the opponent a bit. So yeah, let's take it here. Maybe blue-black does seem very open. And a late Feed the Swarm versus Pelakra Predation. Probably still prefer my first copy of Feed the Swarm over the Pelakra Predation as a good removal spell. We also have the Nighthawk Scavenger that can accumulate a bit of life in the meantime. The Pelakra Predation a lot more situational, but can be pretty solid as a dual-face land as well, but not going to pass it up over a pretty late Feed the Swarm. So black does seem fairly open, which does make me happy, and a late Into the Roll, also very good. And we do end up in the blue-black Rogues deck, which we are kind of setting up to be with the Expedition Skulker, Black Bloom Rogue, and the Nighthawk Scavenger, so don't mind taking it. Alternatively, if I want to be in black-red party, could speculate on the Grotag Bugpatcher, which is also very excellent in late. But I'll just take it Into the Royal. And then, yeah, I mean, I could end up in black-blue party, so I wouldn't mind maybe taking the Cascade Seer. Black-white party, I could just take the Cliffhaven Sellsword, but I think with a late Into the Royal, I want to lean towards blue a little bit more, so I'll take the Cascade Seer for now. And Nama Sky Dancer pretty late too, so blue-black could just be open. It's a nice rogue that can enable the Expedition Skulker and can also mill the opponents, which plays well with our Black Bloom Rogue and Nighthawk Scavenger, so yeah, I think I'll just be in blue-black, but that's a pretty late Ardent Electromancer, so we can go any direction. Black-red party, blue-black rogues, there's another Sky Dancer, black-white life gain, but we'll see where we end up in the next pack. But black does seem very open, and yeah, another great removal spell here. Wouldn't mind the Hagra Mauling as a nice multiple face land. That's also a removal spell. Other great cards include the Vine Gecko for the kicker decks, Shepherd of Heroes as a powerful curve topper. Plays well in black-white life gain, and also great in any white party deck. Blood Price is okay, but just take the Hagra Mauling for now. Stick with our black removal. Pretty late nimble trap finder, although it's not often that we're going to enable party for this, but it's just a 2-mana 2/1 rogue. Not super amazing though. I mean, could just take a bug catcher maybe. This is better if I can get the full party going, which I'm not sure if I can. In blue-black, probably not. So I guess I have some options. I don't think we're going to be in black-white party. Malachir Rebirth is kind of medium. Veteran Adventurer, if I have some sort of party sub-theme in the greed deck, could be okay. So I'm kind of looking at the Grotag Bugcatcher versus the Skitter Sneak. I think there's a chance we could end up in black-red party, which is definitely one of my favorite archetypes. So yeah, I don't mind just taking a Bugcatcher here. The Rebirth is fine, but I think the Bugcatcher has a lot more upside, because we did see a late Ardent Electromancer, although now there's a late Rune Crab, as well as a Thundering Spark Mage. Also another Vanquish the Week. Yeah, maybe I just take the Rune Crab, just stick with Blue-Black Mill. In terms of our party members, we do have a Warrior, Rogues. I mean, the Thundering Spark Mage is quite excellent too. I mean, yeah, we do have some Rogue Mill synergies going on, but I mean, we could easily be in Black-Red Party, which is probably just a better archetype at this point. So I'm not sure if I want to end up in Blue-Black. Yeah, it's just really between Blue-Black and Red-Black. Seeing this late is a sign that we should just be in Red-Black Party, which, you know, has a lot more synergy in my opinion. So, yeah, let's take the Thundering Spark Mage. Hopefully I don't regret this. And we just end up in Red-Black Party instead. Could maybe take in the Glacial Grasp for the Blue-Black deck. The Rolling Vortex, not great. I guess there's also Mind Carver, which would have been great if we were in Blue-Black, but kind of passed up the Crab. So I don't mind taking the Teeter Peak Ambusher as a fine 2-drop. And a late Rock Slide Sorcerer could be okay, a fine Wizard that we can play. Although we're not going to be a Wizard-focused deck, we do have a bunch of instants and sorceries we don't mind casting to enable this. Also a decent amount of Wizards as well, the Ardent Electromancer, Thundering Spark Mage as well. So we mostly have Rogues, Wizards, and a few Warriors. So it does seem like a Red-Black Party deck can be enabled quite nicely here. Otherwise, if we were looking at the Blue-Black Rogues deck, we'd probably be looking at Tazim Royal Mage here, just as a way to get our removal spells in the late game. But I think I'll just take a Rock Slide Sorcerer for now. And yeah, late Shadow Skull Minotaur also great. So also Blue-Black could have been an option now with a Rooster Drakes. We have not too many kicker spells though, just 1 and 2. So had we stuck with the Blue-Black Mill deck, we would probably be looking at this Rooster Drakes, which doesn't have too much synergy. Could consider the Stonework Pack Beast too, but I'm hoping I can pick up one later since the Shadow Skull Minotaur is just a really powerful payoff in the Black-Red Party decks. So I'm just going to take it here and see where we end up. And another Ardent Electromancer seems excellent. There's also another Subtle Strike, but I think Ardent Electromancer is too important in these Black-Red Party decks, so not going to say no to it. And then could just take my Blood Price as a card draw spell. Spitfire Legak is pretty medium. Yeah, and a Scorch Rider too on turn 4 can be quite nice as another Warrior we can play. So definitely missing some Clerics in this deck, so I'm hoping I can pick up those Malachir Blood Priests later. But for now, we do have a decent amount of Rogues, some Wizards, and some Warriors. So we should be able to assemble a decent party in this type of deck that we're gearing up to be. So yeah, even a late field research. So yeah, we could have been in the Blue-Black Mill deck, but I feel like Black-Red Party is, again, a lot more consistent. And yeah, we only had a couple of mill payoffs, and they're not even that great. Nightcost Scavenger and the Black Bloom Rogue, whereas the Black-Red Party seems to have a much more linear game plan that I approve of. Since usually winning through damage, I think, is a lot better than milling the opponent. It really depends, but I'll just take a Bugcatcher here. Excellent 2-drop that plays well party. Relic Golem pretty good in the Blue-Black Mill decks, but we'll just take another Bugcatcher here. Pretty excellent 2-drop. Wish we have more Clerics though. And hopefully we can find one later, but still no Clerics. GOP doesn't seem to have any great synergy. Could take a Songmat Treachery as a fine molded dual face lands, because we're pretty high on playables at this point. The Seagate Colossus could be okay as well, but we should maybe have enough ways to close out the game that we don't need to rely on and maybe pick it up later. The Songmat Treachery can be a nice finisher that can catch the opponent off guard, so don't mind taking it. Could take our first Cleric with the Demon's Disciple. Could take a Feed the Swarm. I mean, I guess I'll take the Stonework Pack Beast, never mind. It can play as a cleric and a rogue and whatever, and it's just a good 2-drop that we can have. Alternatively, wouldn't mind a Feed a Swarm or Demon's Disciple, but we have a bunch of 3s already. Let's just take the Stonework Pack Beast. Late Deadly Alliance, excellent in the party decks. Great synergy, gonna take it here. So yeah, Black-Red Party is open, Blue-Black Mill Rogues is also open, but I think Black-Red Party is actually where we want to be, and I can cut one Nimana Sky Dancer in this deck. Could also consider cutting the Teeter Peak Ambusher since we don't have any, like, the 1-drop rogues. No sneaking guides to give this any evasion currently. In terms of Wizard, not a big fan of Fissure Wizard, but it's just an early Wizard I can play, which can be fine. So 5 Wizards, 5 Warriors, 4 Rogues, 1 Cleric counting the Stonework Pack Beast. So yeah, Clerics will be nice, and another payoff for the Blue-Black Rogues deck. But yeah, we're going to take a Sneaking Guy here. Excellent 1-drop, just a good Rogue. That can now makes it so that the Teeter Peak Ambushers are highly likely going to be played in this type of deck. And I guess I could just take a second Stonework Pack Beast over to Marauding Blight Priest. Marauding Blight Priest is a cleric, but we don't have any life gain synergy, so I just feel like the Stonework Pack Beast is just better here, just as a solid 2-drop. And then now maybe I can just take the, let's see, what's our party situation looking like? 5 Wizards, 5 Warriors, 5 Rogues, no Clerics. I mean, I don't think I need a second Sneaking Guide. I don't think I need a Highland. Highborn Vampire seems bad. I'll just take the Cleric. Why not? And I'll take a late Kazul's Fury. Can be a nice mono dual-face land since we have a lot of playables already. And then, yeah, don't know if I'm going to play Cliffhaven Kitesail, maybe. But we'll see. And then, yeah, none of these really matter. Ooh, late Shadow Stinger, but I don't think we're milling the opponent. It's a fine rogue. But honestly, I think with like the Black Bloom Rogue and the Nimana Sky Dancer, Sneaking Guide, and the Nighthawk Scavenger, we should be okay. We tend to want to be on a more aggressive game plan, so a card with higher toughness doesn't really seem all that great. But yeah, Black-Red definitely very open. Alright, so the first things first, we want to see which type of mono dual face lands. We're mostly going to play as lands or as spells. Let's see, let's move the interaction spells onto the other side. They all seem pretty good, and I'm happy to play all of them. Since we do have a lot of removal, it wouldn't be too difficult to clear a path. Also don't mind the blood price just to provide us some card draw in the early games. So Solemnite Treachery, I feel like we can count as a land, since we don't really have any sacrifice effects, and it's just kind of situational. Same with the Kazul's Fury. We have a lot of removal already, so we don't really need to rely on it that much. A curve also doesn't seem super high, so I can maybe run away with cutting a land. The Shatter Skull Minotaur will mostly get a discount, if I'm not mistaken. And then if we're going to be running 16 lands, I could consider cutting one of the creatures. And what type of creature would I cut? Shadow Skull Minotaur is definitely going to get here. Thundering Spark Mage, definitely. Scorch Rider doesn't look too great. Just a 4-mana 4/3 doesn't look super amazing. The Rockslide Sorcerer has some good synergy here with the Instants and Sorcery. Same with the Ardent Electromancers and the Stonework Pack Beast and the Fissure Wizard counting as wizards. Same with the Thundering Spark Mage. Blood Price can be card draw, but I could also consider cutting it. The Black Bloom Rogue, I don't mind just casting this as a 3-drop rogue. It's just, I mean, we don't really have too much mill synergy, so I guess it can even count as a land, maybe. Sky Dancer I could also consider, since it's only just going to be a 2/1 flyer at the very least. Has some synergy in Nighthawk Scavenger. The Marauding Blight Priest also doesn't have great synergy in this deck, so I could consider cutting this as well. Don't mind all my 2-drops, since they're just early creatures to play early on to enable party. The Fissure Wizard can also help as a loot. So in terms of creatures that we're cutting, I feel like we just want to cut the one with the most party types. So I don't think I want to cut the Marauding Blight Priest, although it doesn't really have any great synergy. It's just a cleric. I don't mind just playing out on turn 3. The party members that we have the most of is Wizards, Warrior, and Rogue, so I could just consider cutting one of those. And the question is, which one do I cut? I could just cut a land maybe, but if I play too many tap lands, that can be a little bit problematic. I think the Blood Price we might have to just play on 4 just to have some sort of card draw in this type of deck. Maybe the Scorch Rider can go, like it's just kind of clunky at the top end. The Mnemonic Sky Dancer has a bit of synergy to the Nighthawk Scavenger. It's just a 2/1 flyer. It's at 1 toughness though, which could be a little bit problematic, especially against an opponent with lots of subtle strikes. But I don't know, the Scorch Rider just seems very medium in this type of deck, so I could just consider cutting the Scorch Rider, go 16 lands with the Kazul's Fury and the Sogman Treachery tapped. I could even go crazy and cut an extra land. Maybe we can just play one that we don't mind playing the Black Bloom Rogue as a tap land, and then just go from there. So we could run like 13, 14, 15, but we have like the Black Bloom Rogue and Hagra's Mauling that we don't mind playing as lands. Actually, I do mind playing this as a land because this is going to be a really good removal spell that we probably need to keep up. So maybe I can keep like the Black Bloom Rogue as a land here, and then we have a decent amount of 3s, decent amount of 4s, and then a decent amount of 2-drops, 1-drops, and then this can kind of be our deck. 13, 14, 15, 16. And then I don't mind just playing a bunch of tap lands, honestly. I mean, I do want to curve out, but I don't want to flood too badly. And, I mean, our curve is really low from the looks of it. Even the Ardent Electromancer can provide us with ramp. And then we only have a couple of 4s and 1 curve topper that's probably going to get a huge discount anyways. So maybe something like this could be okay, and then that can prevent some flood. Looking at our sideboard, I don't think I need a Cliffhaven Kite Sail. We have a little bit of evasion, the Sneaking Guide already. The Mnemonic Sky Dancer can fly over. Maybe we can just clear a path of our removal spells. Could consider a second Mnemonic Sky Dancer, but at that point I already have one, and then don't want to have too much 1 toughness. Mind Drain doesn't have any synergy. It could be okay though. Shao Stinger a little bit more on the defensive side, and we're not looking to really mill the opponent that much. So yeah, let's try something like this. Hopefully it pans out, and then we can keep the mana base even split. 8/8 seems fine. And then yeah, let's try it out again. And I played this party deck a million times already, and it's definitely one of my favorites. Picture, Thundering Smart Mage. Let's give this deck a go. And hopefully we don't have any troubles hitting our land drops. Otherwise, I might consider cutting the Scorch Rider and just throwing in an extra land. But I'm fine playing the Black Bloom Rogue as a tap land if I have to as well, since we have a decent amount of rogues in the deck already. Same with Kazul's Fury and the Sogman Treachery, because we have a lot of removal to clear a path. I mean, we could have been in a blue-black rogue mill deck as well, but I don't know how consistently we're going to get the crab on turn 1, because it's not really super amazing in the late game. It's going to be really amazing early on, whereas in the black-red party deck, we just have a lot more ways out, as opposed to blue-black mill, which is not necessarily amazing at blocking, but we'll see. I just think black-red is more consistent and more stronger and powerful. And in opening hand, I mean, we can just curve out 3-drop with the 4-drop on the draw. I'll try it out. Not the most amazing hand, but I don't mind just playing this tapped. Opponent also plays a tap land, okay. Okay, Pack Beast is excellent. Hopefully no Subtle Strike end of turn. So no Subtle Strike. Okay, didn't see that end of turn, so I can probably play around it. Could see the Flash guy come in, the 2/1. So I'm not sure if I want to attack, but would it be fine with a trade? He wants to vanquish the 2-1, sure. I mean, I guess that's fine with me as well, and then I can just leave the Marine Blight Priest since it hits harder. If he doesn't have removal, I can get in for 3 as opposed to a 2 in the air. Opponent seems pretty reactive with a bunch of removal spells, okay. Alright, guess I'll just flash in the Sky Dancer end of turn, and then we can maybe, if we take up a land, we can play out the Scorch Rider or Teeter Peak into Blood Chief's Thirst. That's going to require a kicked Blood Chief's Thirst. Or I can just vanquish it on my turn, probably. Probably going to vanquish it on my turn. I mean, I could just vanquish it now. Hopefully he doesn't have a Subtle Strike. I mean, this doesn't even have haste, so I guess I'll let this resolve. I mean, maybe I should have vanquished it, because if I didn't, he could have Subtle Striked and killed my 2-1 and pump up to 5-3, so maybe it was better to just vanquish it, trigger on the stack. So do I want to do that? I can just play out the Bug Catcher, maybe attack for 2, but maybe the 3-1 deals too much damage here. So no Subtle Strike. I mean, he didn't have it on turn 2, so I think this was fine anyways, and then the Vanquish was a pretty good target on this 3-1 that can become a 5-powered creature, so Ambusher we can deal with the Blood Chief's Thirst. So I can just play land. I can just play double 2-drop. Probably don't even need to worry too much about the Teeter Peak Ambusher. Maybe just go wide a bit. Attack for 2, see what happens. He didn't have Subtle Strike the turn earlier, so I think we're fine just curving out here. And then he needs to pump the Teeter Peak Ambusher to get in for a good amount of damage, which he needs to spend his whole turn doing, so I think this is fine. Silencer, probably going to take out the Bug Catcher. Sure. The 2-1 can maybe stay back. Spark Mage is quite nice. It's going to deal 3 damage. The 2-1 can trade for the 3-2. I could just, alternatively, I can just play out the Scorch Rider, let him attack me for 3, or just keep the Sky Dancer back. I think I'll attack for 2 here, maybe don't mind just him offering the 3-2 as a trade. If he wants to pump the Teeter Peak Ambusher, that's fine. Zagras, okay, I can kill that with the Thundering Spark Mage, so wondering why he's not attacking for 3 here. Hopefully he doesn't have Thort the Grave, so I do have Rogue, Warrior, Wizard. Actually, yeah, I think I'll have to Deadly Alliance this maybe for... Yeah, I'll Deadly Alliance this for 3. Maybe that's just better. And then I guess I can Blood Chief's Thirst this for 1, so that's very efficient. And then he needs to keep the 3-2 back on defense. And then I can attack him for 2 in the air, so... Yeah, the opponent does have a Black-Red Party deck, but cards like Goma Fat, Vanguard, and Skyclave GOP aren't super amazing. So now we can Spark Mage and Feed the Swarm to 1-3, so yeah, we'll just do that. Yeah. Guess I'll Spark Mage at 3-2 because the Feed the Swarm can do a lot more damage. Yeah, I'll just take this out while I can. Get in for 2, and then next turn we can maybe hopefully clear a path and get in a good hit in. But yeah, our deck is a lot more synergistic. The only problem is that there's not any reanimation to get back cards like Thundering Spark Mage to nuke down the opponent's stuff. That's fine. Guess I'll just sacrifice the Spark Mage at this point, since the 1-3 can hit harder. And he's just keeping this back for pumping, so what we can do now is we can just Feed the Swarm. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I can pump the Teeter Peak Ambusher and put him down to 1. So I think I'm going to do that instead of using the Expedition Skulker. Yep. Pretty easy victory. Opponent also had a bomb, but we just have a lot of removal to answer his opposing threats, and a better synergy overall, I think. The blue-black rogues deck, the mill deck, also takes a while to set up because you need to mill 8 onto the opponent's graveyard to really get your creatures to be incredibly powerful, whereas the black-red party deck, all you really need are party members. So that's also my argument for going black-red party as opposed to blue-black mill. I mean, we had a good setup for it already with the Nighthawk Scavenger and the Black-Bloom Rogue and the Expedition Skulker, but I felt like black-red was just overall a better solid archetype, and we had two options, the crab or the spark mage, but I just think again black-red party's easier to enable, a better archetype than the blue-black mill deck. We could have been that archetype though with the relic golems, the crab, the late soaring thought thief into the royal, etc. Even a late bubble snare being passed to us, but black-red was also quite open, and we also have a bunch of strong meat removal, so can't say no to it. We got a Shower Skull Minotaur, some bug catchers as nice payoffs, Stonework Pack pieces, and yeah, overall our deck is pretty strong regardless. So can't complain here. It's Magic, so there's variance. Could have been, maybe the blue-black could have been better, but I think our black-red still was a lot more, again, just stable compared to the blue-black deck that we could have been. It's not guaranteed that we'll mill them for 8. And it's not guaranteed that we're going to win by milling them as well, so better overall just to curve out and attack. And opening hand, could just play this tapped. Yeah, we need a third land, but I think I'll keep, since I don't really want the mulligan on the play. Red mana would be excellent. If not, I don't mind just leading with a Marauding Blight Priest, having Soul Strike on turn 2 to maybe answer a 1 toughness threat can be okay, but this is fine. Opponent's in green, okay. Well, now kind of regretting keeping this hand, but hopefully it doesn't turn out too badly here. Because I can just maybe Marauding Blight Priest and then Ardent Electromancer play the Grotog Bugcatcher. So yep, gonna pass a turn, take some hits. Hopefully he plays a 1 toughness creature, maybe he plays a fledgling and then I can answer that. Okay. Wondering why he didn't play this. Guess he can put a land in at instant speed, so I think I'm gonna let him attack with both, and then I'm gonna pass priority, and then let's see if he decides to tap this. Decides not to tap, okay. So he's probably playing around Subtle Strike. So kind of weird, but I think I need to go for it here. Okay, hopefully he doesn't have a land to activate with the Root Grazer. He probably does. Yeah, I shouldn't have done that. Maybe that was a little bit... Okay, it worked, so that was good. So he doesn't have another land, otherwise he would have activated this. So now I can play this land tapped, and then just take 2. So it took 1 unnecessary point of damage, but I wasn't sure if he was just going to activate the Root Grazer. If he's going to activate the Root Grazer end of turn and put a land onto the battlefield, it's pretty strange. But I guess he wants to bounce just to enable landfall, which I'm not sure why you would do that. But it doesn't matter, I guess he can tap the Root Grazer anyways, so... Hellhound doesn't have haste, so I don't need to worry about it too much. Just take 2 for now. I mean, he's just going to enable landfall, but the fact that this doesn't have haste isn't that great, so... Luminar Aspirant I think I have to get rid of. Strange how he did that second main, so I'm not sure what the opponent was doing, but definitely going to kill the Luminar Aspirant before it provides a million counters to the opponent. And then we're going to take 4, and then hopefully we can find more lands. But the Luminar Aspirant definitely has to go. So he can play the land, trigger landfall, enable the Root Grazer, and attack for 6. But he probably doesn't have a second land anyway, since I think he would have done it pre-combat. I mean, he would have attacked and didn't utilize it at instant speed, so... Yeah, he doesn't have it, so land is good, so now what? Maybe just play out a Rock Slide Sorcerer, and then next turn I can play out Ardent Electromancer to ping off the 0-1. And then maybe play out the Marauding Blight Priest as well, so this seems okay. Do I want to block the Root Grazer? Probably not going to block the 2-3, but I'm fine blocking the... I mean, though, yeah, this 2-3, but I'm probably fine blocking this 2-3. We'll see. So, Royal Eruption. He already played his land, so, I mean, there's a chance he could play another land, but he's probably going to keep this up as a trick, but we'll see. Land is good. Yeah, so now what? So now what? I guess I can't really double spell here, Probably need to just play Ardent Electromancer and the Bug Catcher. Yeah, that sucks. I mean, or I just play the Marauding Blight Priest instead, which is almost the same. And then next turn, maybe we can set up the Ardent Electromancer to give us some ramp, if needed. He's going to bounce the land back so he can enable Landfall. So probably not going to block the Hellhound, because if I double block it, he can 2-for-1 me. But I definitely need to find an answer to this Root Grazer, and I can't really take a million damage over time. I could double block the Root Grazer if he goes for something here, or just block with 1. So let's see, if I play the Ardent Electromancer next turn, I'll have access to 5 mana. So probably not going to block here because he could have a trick, so I think I'm just going to pass priority. Prowling Feldar is quite strong, probably need to get rid of that. So now what? Could just play out the Ardent Electromancer. And then guess I can use the mana to play out the Scorch Rider. And then I'll have access to a 2 mana Deadly Alliance, which is excellent, so we'll try that. So I could Deadly Alliance the Prowling Feldar right now, but I think I'm going to use it as a combat trick. So if he tries to enable Landfall twice, I could take out one of these creatures, but we'll see. Spring Mantle Cleric, okay, it's going to be a pretty large Cleric. So do I kill the Cleric or do I kill the Prowling Feldar? Probably the Prowling Feldar, or I can keep up the instant speed. Yeah, probably keep up the instant speed for now. And then I guess we'll just say go. And then we can maybe keep this up in case he has another combat trick or something. Funny how he didn't bounce the land, so... So do I just put everything in front of Prowling Feldar? Sure. Strange how he still hasn't attacked. Just say go again. Maybe I can pick up more stuff. Nighthawk Scavenger is excellent. And then hopefully I can start swinging in and gaining some life, and he doesn't have removal. So yeah. And then, yeah, we have a full party, so don't need to worry about anything, just pass the turn. Probably this turn he's just going to attack, and then maybe we can use a Deadly Alliance or something. Hopefully he doesn't have removal for a Nighthawk Scavenger, because I do need to get in these lifelink hits. Songmat Treachery, yeah, that's not what I want to see. So he's gonna get in for 3 at least. Let's just kill the Prowling Feldar now. And then I can still block, take 3, and then guess I can't take a single point of damage, so I need to chump to 5-6 and block everything off and trade. Alright. The 4-3 can at least block the 2-3 here. But I'm guaranteed to take 3 for sure in the air. So hopefully no other spells, but he has a Kabira Takedown, alright. So yeah, it's GG's. What happens when you miss your land drops. If this was a Subtle Strike, maybe we could have survived, but... Yep. Opponent just managed to curve out. And deal enough damage to me where I couldn't keep myself up. I mean... I have a bunch of removal in the deck, but that was a pretty unfortunate game. Let's keep playing. Alright, we have a 2-drop. Maybe we can find second black source for the Nighthawk Scavenger. I think I'll keep. I could also leave the Fissure Wizard if I want to make it more likely that I find my second black mana. But the question is, what would I discard? Could just play the Pack Beast. I mean, the Pack Beast could fix for mana eventually. I mean, I could just play it. I could just discard it. I could discard the Skulker maybe, but the Skulker will have Death Touch. I don't know. Pretty interesting situation. I think I'll play the Skulker since the 1/2 can't really attack pass into it, and I can swing back for 2 and still have access to Stonework Pack Beast. I could also decline looting, but I think I need to hit my land drops for the Blood Chief's Thirst, and I do need to find second black, so we'll see. I mean, eventually once I get 4 mana, I can maybe Stonework Pack Beast, activate it, and then have triple black for the Nighthawk Scavenger. So another a white-blue party deck as opposed to the black-red party deck. Sure. Subtle Strike is excellent. Maybe I just Subtle Strike now. I mean, it's pretty nice. This is a pretty nice 2.5 for 1. I mean, it's not. I wouldn't call it 2 for 1, but it's a nice 1.5 or something, 1.5, and I can again for 3. Yeah, this seems solid. I like how efficient Subtle Strike is against 1 toughness in this set. That's why cards like Geopede and Cliffhaven Sellsword can get answered really easily. Think I'll just attack. I don't think I want to loot away anything. I could loot away this Pack Beast maybe. Maybe that's fine, because I do need to hit my second black source and my land drops. So yeah, let's just loot away the Pack Beast at this point. And then, yeah, maybe we could have just kept a second red for the Sneaking Guide, but we'll just say go. Blood Chief's Thirst can be used on a better creature. Field Research trying to hit his land drops, probably to keep the 1/2 back. I could kill this next turn and get him for 5. Not sure if I want to do that yet. But yeah, second black is great. Is there any board wipes in this set? I guess there's the Onduin version on turn 7, but I think it's still fine playing it out for now. Attack for 3, keep the 2/1 back. Don't really want to trade it, or I could trade it anyways. It does provide me an extra party member for some relevant synergies later. So yeah, I guess I'll just attack for 3. Shepherd of Heroes I can vanquish. Ooh, Thundering Spark Mage, that's quite good. I have a Rogue, Wizard. Okay, so I do have a Wizard, Rogues, just Wizard and Rogues, so it's not going to be super amazing. I think I'll just vanquish the 3/4 attack with the 3/3s. The 2 3/3s. I guess this Thundering Spark Mage is a Wizard as well, so I don't mind to trade at this point. Since I'll still have the party. Once this enters the battlefield, it'll count itself as a wizard, so I don't have to worry that much. Well, yeah, blue-white party versus black-red party. So I can kill that. The Legion Angel, he could give it hexproof or something, but yeah, we'll just cross our fingers. But that's very efficient. Ooh, never mind. Should have counted, but I'll attack for 1. Didn't count, so kind of got punished there. Maybe should have just kicked the Blood Chief's Thirst and killed this, so definitely messed up a bit. Hopefully I can kill this next turn and then attack in with all and win that way. Bugcatcher, Solid Warrior. Okay, I guess this can block for in the meantime. Yeah, I guess I'll kick this and then play the Bugcatcher. Makes sense. Hopefully no Onduin version. So do I trade here? Yeah, the trade isn't bad. Should be okay. You could bring out Duelist, but this still has Death Touch, so it will still kill something here. So hopefully no board wipe, and I should be okay. If there is a board wipe, then that's going to be a huge problem. Next turn I can just give the Growth type Bugcatcher evasion, attack with the 3/3, but he needs the, okay, other than that I guess he can play a Shepherd of Heroes, never mind. Okay, Shower Skull Minotaur is excellent. Guess I'll play that. Give the Bugcatcher Evasion. He can chump here, block here. This, I guess I'll just attack with all. Yeah, why not? Hopefully no removal spell in the stack. Resolute Strike to hold off the 5-4, I guess, and chump. He's still going down to 1. I guess this is lethal, unless you have a 1-drop that can give 2 nego. So he does need to chump here. But opponent's definitely far behind because any of these attacks will be lethal, so another Shepherd, I guess. Okay, I guess I can just give the Bugcatcher Evasion and just go on from there. Yep. So yeah, Black-Red Party, pretty powerful. Even if I made a couple of misplays, I still managed to win this. Didn't miscount, so I should have kicked the Bloodchief's Thirst on the 4-3 and then saved the Thundering Spark Mage for something else as well. But yep, we still got there. Alright, could play this. I guess I'll play the Songmat Treachery tapped. Maybe I can just double 3-drop. We'll see. We're on the draw, so I don't mind just keeping this. Hopefully we can top deck some 2s. And yeah, I do have some multiple dual face lands I don't mind deploying early on, just to get them out of the way. Although now I just top deck a mountain. But do I really want the Songmat Treachery? I guess I can decide on turn 3 if I want it. So sure, I'll just play out the mountain for now. Or I can decide next turn whether or not I want to play this. But if I play the double black early, I guess I can just get the Nighthawk Scavenger on curve. But I think this is okay. If I don't get my 4th land drop, I might regret this. But I mean, this could be pretty useful in the late game if it does come together. That's a creature I would like to kill. Okay. Guess I could still block it. So yeah, I'll try to block it. If not, he would have to use a removal spell on this, and then if he still loots, he could just end up exiling his top, which might not be very efficient. So just gonna leave with a 2-3, maybe block the 2-3 when he decides to attack, because this is essentially just a free roll. Could have like a roll eruption here, okay, and then he could just loot off the top. Hopefully nothing super crazy, scary. Glacial Grass, he's going to have to exile end of step, so it's not going to generate any value, so that's fine. And then I guess I'll just play this tap at this point. Maybe flash in the Mnemonic Sky Dancer. Don't really want to chump this, so I'll give him a free card, but yeah, it's still not very good for me by doing so. Hopefully something he can't cast. A land, okay, that's not good for me, because now he can play the land and the ramp. Yeah, we'll just try to flash this in. And we can maybe try to assemble some sort of full party. Mill 2 lands off the top, so these mills aren't too good. So I guess I'll move the attack. Move the attacks, I can attack for 2. And then I don't mind just playing my party members out there. And then I guess I can leave up the Deadly Alliance in case something was to happen. But, you know, I don't actually mind him looting a bit more. Because I should still be okay if I am able to assemble a board. Hopefully no, none of that 3-drop, that kicker spell, the Pyroclasm, that deals 1 damage to all or 2 damage to all. That would be pretty gross here, but I guess I'll let his 2-3 connect because I don't have any good blocks, and then maybe I can set up a Spark Mage next turn or set up a nice 1-mana Deadly Alliance. Ooh, Zagras, okay. Guess I don't mind if he loots, I'll take 6. And then I can take out Zagros with the Thundering Spark Mage. And then hopefully he doesn't get anything good. Okay, that's going to get exiled, so I don't mind that. Alright, I could Vanquish and just leave up Deadly Alliance, but I feel like the Spark Mage is good here. So if I cast a Spark Mage, what will happen? This is a 2-1. This can be a Cleric, I guess. Rogue. Yeah, I'll have the full party, so I think this is fine. So I'll just cast a Thundering Spark Mage. And I guess I'll target the Bug Catcher. And I don't mind attacking. You can ambush my Stonework Pack Beast here, but yeah, we'll kill out Zagros here for 4. And then if he uses the Shell Shield, I guess we'll take it out with the combat. He could flash in the Flash Sky, but I think this is fine. And I can keep up a 1-mana Deadly Alliance, or I can just use it now. Maybe I just use it now. I don't really want drawing cards. And then the Vanquish, maybe I could save for something else. But this is fine. Because I don't want him to untap and have like a Shell Shield or Counterspell up, so I think, yeah, I think it's fine. I could have went the other way, Thundering Spark Mage a 2-3, and then Deadly Alliance away the Zagros. But yeah, now I got rid of his party members, so that's quite good. And then I can attack, and then Vanquish the 2-1, hopefully. Get in for 6, or I just play out the Scorch Rider and kick it. Or I just send in all, which I don't mind as well, just trading for the 2-1, save the Vanquish for something better. So the opponent has some sort of red-blue party deck as well. Nighthawk Scavenger is excellent, so I don't mind just attacking for a trade and then playing out the Nighthawk Scavenger. Because the Vanquish, I could just use that instant speed at any time. And hopefully he doesn't have like Thwart to Grave, but that's double black, so we'll just let damage happen, see what tricks he has. And if he does have a trick, I'll just Vanquish in response to 2-for-1 him. Yeah, it's pretty annoying. Guess I don't want to lose my Spark Mage to the Veil. And if I get a land, I can kick the Scorch Rider. But he's still facing down a bunch of 2-powered creatures. Right, that's a good creature to keep up. Probably has another removal spell here. Rebuking the 2-1. Okay, so I guess I can kick the Scorch Rider maybe and get in. Ardent Electromancer isn't bad. So if I Ardent Electromancer now, I guess I'll have 1, 2, 3 mana open. So I could just go like this. Hopefully no counterspell. I still can't kick the Scorch Rider, so I guess I'll just cast the Nighthawk Scavenger here. And then we're just going to pass the turn. And then the 3-2 can still hold off the 1-3 quite nicely. But yeah, his weird Grixis deck, Grixis party deck. Kind of interesting how he's splashing for black and splashing for Malakir Blood Priest, which is something you kind of want to have access to constantly, and not something you necessarily want to splash for. I can see splashing Zagros, but yeah, the Malakir Blood Priest, I don't think it's a good splash target. Being back to Thundering Rebuke, sure. So if we kick the Scorch Rider, let's say he chumps. He blocks here, chumps to 4-3, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. He's gonna be down to 1. So yeah, I think we just alpha here. And then we just get in. And we should be in good shape, even if he tries to do a value block, I guess. Yeah, he can block like this, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. It's still 10, so he needs to chump. So he needs to chump the 4-3 essentially to stay alive. And then I can gain some life, so I'll be out of range from the Roll Eruption. That's why Nighthawk Scavenger is so powerful, just great in any black deck. I think it's going to be at its best, worse in like a black-green deck, but it's going to be at its best, you know, maybe in black-white life gain. Black-blue rogue is not super amazing, but black-red party is still very good, so yeah. Nighthawk Scavenger, flexible first pick, really powerful. Alright, we completed our quest really quickly. That was quite fast, and then yeah, just 2 more wins and we can get back most of our gems. The deck is still really strong, just make sure we hit our land drops and don't miss our second color like the one we lost. The opponent that last game also managed to got to loot and get a free land still, but we still managed to win. Alright, Pat piece early on is quite nice, we're on the play. Leave of a swamp, so then we don't have to show them our secondary color just yet. Hopefully no subtle strikes. Okay, Seagate Banneret. Yeah, sure, we'll just leave the Pack Beast. We can turn 4 Scorch Rider. Do I want to trade it off? I mean, the trade isn't bad because this can eventually pump itself later, so white, red. I could kill the Teeter Peak Ambusher, play out the Stonework Pack Beast. Or I can just play out the Fissure Wizard, maybe loot away the land. But I do want to hit my turn 4 consistently. So no, I don't mind just Blood Chiefs thirsting away to 1-3. And then getting in for 2, offering to trade, and then playing out my second Stonework Pack Piece. Alright, so he values it. And then we can loot away a land later. So Mardu, interesting. Interesting attack as well. Could just block this, since in the future it could be a nuisance, but I think I'm fine taking it for now. It's a little bit suspicious he's offering to trade. Okay, Songmat Treachery. Let's just move to combat. Guess I'll play out the Scorch Rider. And then I can eventually steal something and maybe get in a huge attack. So another black-red party deck splashing white. Thundering Rebuke, sure. Guess I don't mind just trading off the Stonework Pack Beast and then playing out the Fissure Wizard, and then that's a nice land to loot away, so let's just loot first. No need to do it second main. And then hopefully find some good playables by another land. Guess I'll attack for 2. And then I can also just play out the land to avoid the Mind Rot effect if he has it in his hand. So I don't have to discard 2, and I get a land in play at least if he has a Mind Rot. Power Classic Hellion, I could just steal this and get him for 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I am hoping he doesn't have life gain though. I mean, it's pretty nice and mana efficient. Although, alternatively, I could just set up the Bug Catcher, maybe try it next turn. Maybe that's just better. And then, hopefully, this can pan out. Or I can maybe try to find a removal spell for this. The Raptor is okay. Rockslide Sorcerer is pretty strong. Maybe I can set up a wider board. So if I steal the 4-5 now, he blocks the 1-2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It's still not lethal, so I think I'll just leave the Rockslide Sorcerer here and just try to establish a board, and hopefully he doesn't play a lot anymore. He doesn't play too much stuff. He can attack for 2 in the air, I'm hoping, and then maybe I can steal something large and get in for lethal that way. So just a bunch of reactive spells. Hoping attacks for 2. Yep. So this is gonna be quite nice for me because now I'm able to steal. So if I play out the Ardent Electromancer, how much mana is this? 1, 2, 3. I get 3 floating red, so that should be enough to cast a Songmat Treachery. So that's quite nice. And then this is just going to do a ton of damage and quickly end the game. So yeah, quite glad I held on to the Songmat Treachery because this is Xaxes. And yeah, this is why you don't want to splash too much in this set. I don't know what he was splashing for, but this is mostly a set where you want to stick with 2 colors and just have a very linear, synergistic game plan to execute a high win rate. And yep, let's continue on. 4 wins. Shouldn't be too difficult to get to 7 with this deck. And the Electromancer are also an overperformer in these red-black party decks, just being able to provide us with a lot of ramp and ways to get out our creatures and spells very quickly. So I'm a huge fan of the Ardent Electromancers in the black-red party decks. Alright, we can curve out 2-drop into 3-drop. Doesn't seem too bad. The Expedition Skulker can gain Death Touch. Probably don't leave the Stonework Pack Beast because the 1 toughness can be a little bit crucial, and this can act as another party member. So we have a bunch of rogues, and then we have something else. So I could leave the Songmat Treachery, but I think I'm going to be greedy again, just like I did in that last game, and just hold on to it. But if I do miss a land drop, I'm probably going to eventually just play this out as a tap land. So opponent could also have his own Subtle Strikes, his own removal spells. I could also offer to trade for the 2-1 and just reduce the amount of party members he has, because I do have a rogue already. So, I mean, I could block here, which I wouldn't mind. I mean, it's not that bad. But he could have something larger. But yeah, I think the block here is fine, and hopefully he doesn't have anything. A Subtle Strike wouldn't work because this will only have 2 toughness as well. So that was a... Yeah, actually he had it, never mind. I shouldn't have attacked into it. So I guess we'll pass, maybe flash into Sky Dancer to trade off, and then I still have my Pack Beast to activate as party members. So hopefully this isn't too bad. Just gonna flash this in. It's a 2-for-2 essentially, because he still loses the Subtle Strike as a spell. And then I can get rid of his party members here. That's a card I don't mind just killing, so yeah, I don't mind just playing the land double spelling here, setting up a nice cheap Deadly Alliance. And then if we get a land next turn, we can Black Bloom Rogue and Deadly Alliance away to 3-4. And this is one of the cards I also don't like too much in a party deck, but it's kind of filler at the very least, since it doesn't really enable synergies, but just a fine card, nothing too exciting. Opponent probably looking at the Blood Beckoning, getting back to Fissure Wizard. Okay, guess I don't mind just playing land. I can Black Bloom Rogue here, keep up Deadly Alliance. So sure, we'll just try that. Maybe I'm giving him an extra turn to ping me for 1 extra, so maybe I should have just killed it, but I don't mind just maybe setting up for good. Maybe that's just a better target for me to kill. Yeah, that's probably just a better target in the long run, so happy that I kind of waited. Question is, do I double block the Spitfire Lagak? I mean, it's still going to be a 2-for-1 that he's going to be happy taking, so I guess I'll take it. I guess I don't mind blocking the Expedition Champion, but we'll definitely Alliance away to 4-5. And then I guess I'll take 3 and hopefully find a Vanquish off the top, or some other creature. Blood Price, okay, I guess I'll force a double block. Yeah, not sure what I can get to answer this. Maybe a Subtle Strike, so I do want to keep up maybe black. Don't have any Roll Eruptions in this deck. Vanquish is looking excellent. Rockslide Sorcerer could ping away the... I guess the Rockslide could ping away the Fissure Wizard, but that will be 7 mana. The Bugcatcher not very good at blocking. I guess I could also just Ardent Electromancer, develop the board, and just use the Vanquish on the 3-4. This is really difficult. I mean, I guess I can play the Songmat Treachery, but I would need to top deck a land for the Rockslide Sorcerer in order to Rockslide Sorcerer, Vanquish, and take out the 2-1 at the same time, so I'm not sure. Maybe it's still the right call. Alternatively, yeah, the Ardent Electromancer could provide me mana for the Vanquish, so yeah, maybe I just try this instead. And then we'll say go, and then I guess I'll take 3, use Vanquish on the 3-4. Or double block it, but I would lose. I guess I could double block the last turn and just lost the Black Bloom Rogue. Okay, never mind now. I definitely need to double block in this scenario, so hopefully no Subtle Strike, but I guess I'll double block the Spitfire Lagak. Soul Strike would be really bad here, but I definitely need to block here to prevent all the damage. Probably a Subtle Strike. Okay, no Subtle Strike, that's good. So now I can take out the Expedition champion. So I guess what I can do now is I can Ardent Electromancer. Use the red mana from the Fissure Wizard. Yeah, I guess I'll ditch the Songmat Treachery. I could play the Blood Priest, but I think I'll vanquish the 3/3 here. And just attack in for 2, and then hopefully I can have enough to stay back to hold off this Fissure Wizard, which is going to be a problem with the Ravager's Mace. My opponent is stuck on mana here, so he needs to find a second red. So he can pay 4 to equip this, but it's probably not going to be enough damage, so I might just try to Alpha to pressure him. So yeah, let's just do that. I mean, I'm not winning this game in the long run, so I think I need to attack here. And if he doesn't block, he could have like a Royal Eruption that he's banking on getting. But I do need to provide as much damage as possible in the meantime. That's annoying, sure. But he would still need to block something off here. I guess he's going to take the risk here. Alright, so hopefully he doesn't have a removal spell or a way to pump. I guess if he finds another creature and puts on the Ravager's Mace, I could be in trouble. But he would need to equip this for 4, and then... yeah, it's going to take a lot of mana to equip. So if I attack in next turn, he might just need to force a trade of some sort, so... I think the attack was correct, even though he managed to Subtle Strike one of my 2/1s. Fissure Wizard, okay, so it's probably going to be forced to play defense here. It's keeping the land in hand. Demon's Disciple, okay. Guess I'll just ditch the Fissure Wizard. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So not lethal yet. Maybe need to find a removal spell off the top. Or I guess I'm forced to stay back on defense. Maybe I'm fine attacking for 3 and taking a 2 for 1. Because even if he equips this on, I don't have lethal, so... yeah, I guess I'll attack for 3 here. He can equip, and then I'll double block the Menace. Okay, so he's kind of banking on being able to equip here and 2 for 1. Okay, Shadow Stinger, pretty annoying blocker, so I probably need to find a removal spell for that. Okay, the Nighthawk Scavenger is excellent. And that's going to gain me a ton of life, so I don't mind double blocking the Ravager's Mace now, attacking for 6, gaining a bunch of life, and then winning that way, so... so I guess I'll just double block this, and then swing back for 6. And then he would need to find removal off the top to take out the Nighthawk Scavenger. Catcher seems good. Yeah, and this is just going to deal a ton of damage, so... yeah, Nighthawk Scavenger, MVP, stealing another game for us. And needs to probably stay back to Shadow Stinger, otherwise this is going to get in for lethal, but yeah. 16 lands with 3 Mono Dual Face lands. 4, I mean, and we still managed to get a pretty high win rate, so glad that I went black-red as opposed to blue-black control rogues. Alright, 5-1, let's keep this up, 2 more victories, and then this will be a nice new addition to upload onto my channel, and maybe I can do a Kaladesh remaster draft, and try my hardest to showcase how the draft is set. I think Energy and Fabricate are the most highly supported archetypes, I mean highly supported mechanics in that set. There's also Revolt and Improvise, but Revolt is not highly supported. Improvise is a bit supported, but it's not something you necessarily need to go all in with because there should be enough artifacts in the set to enable it. This is a little bit awkward. I guess if I have 3rd land, I can maybe use the Ardent Electromancer to ramp, but I don't know what I would ramp into. I think I'm still keeping since I have a Bug Catcher on turn 2, and that's quite powerful. And even if I am unable to ramp into anything, I can still maybe like 2-drop and a 3-drop and hit hard, and then maybe Rock Slide Sorcerer eventually. So, alright, black mana is good. Guess I'll play it and then play the Groudhog Bug Catcher. I can just Namana Sky Dancer main phase next turn, and then the Ardent Electromancer can provide me a lot of ramp. I could just attack here and then maybe use Subtle Strike. Alternatively, I can Ardent Electromancer, play out the Sneaking Guide. Guess I don't mind the Sneaking Guide and then attacking. And then if he decides to block, I can still Subtle Strike, and I can trap over for a bit more damage. Alright. Opponent doesn't block, so he knows the Subtle Strike is in play. Farside Depth, allowing us both to draw cards, okay. So I'm not sure if using attacking next turn is correct, because he can still double block, and it's still going to be result in a 1-for-1 if I use Subtle Strike, so probably not going to attack here. So if I use the Ardent Electromancer, I guess I get 3 mana, so what I can do is I can Ardent Electromancer into Rock Slide Sorcerer, or I can do the other way around. I can Rock Slide Sorcerer and then use Ardent Electromancer next turn and Namana Sky Dancer. So lots of options. I think I'll set up the Sorcerer here. It can be quite powerful, especially if I can start pinging things off with it. And I can eventually just deal 2 damage next turn with the Ardent Electromancer. I guess if I Ardent Electromancer and Subtle Strike, I can deal 3 to the Farside Adept. So opponent definitely made that a high priority to get rid of. Opponent's attacking, I don't mind that. I'm actually happy that he's attacking. I can feed the Swarm here. Alternatively, I can Ardent Electromancer. I guess I can Ardent and feed the Swarm maybe, which isn't too bad. And then I guess this can attack past the 1-4. Because I do want to get this out there. Alternatively, I could feed the Swarm, but I do want to just use up my mana at this point, so I guess I'll just do this. Add 3 red. I could Blood Price to be mana efficient. Maybe that's the correct play. And then trade my 3-2 for the 3-3. Yeah, I guess that's better. And then the removal is great. Do I want the Kazul's Fury? Kazul's Fury could be fine, but I don't really have any high-powered creatures to destroy anything with. The Expedition Skulker is also fine. But I don't really have that much black mana open, so I think I take the red spell here and take the Teeter Peak Ambusher. And I guess I can attack for 4 here. I guess he can double block, but I'll just trade for the Core Celebrant, so not sure that was correct. Okay, he's just going to take it, so the 3-2 can hold off the 3-3. I guess he can pump this, so probably not good blocking the 3-3, just keep the 3-2 back. Maybe blocking the 1-2. Okay, main phasing the 2-1, that's pretty interesting. So that's pretty interesting why he decided to main phase it. He managed to mill away. Ooh, I guess he wants to drain me, so that's going to be a lot of damage. Alright, so I guess I'll trade a 3-2 here, because I don't want to take a million damage. Thundering Spark Mage can take out a 3 toughness creature. I can use Subtle Strike, I guess, to take out the 2-1. I guess I don't mind attacking with the Bug Catcher. If he decides to block, I'll just use Subtle Strike to blow him out. Guess I could also lead with the Teeter Peak Ambusher. I mean, he's just going to... Yeah, let's just move to combat. I'll attack, and then hopefully he blocks, and I can take one of his creatures out. I guess he doesn't care, so... do I want to use Subtle Strike or Deadly Alliance? I guess Subtle Strike is very mana efficient here. I could just let 3 damage happen, play the Teeter Peak Ambusher, and then feed the Swarm to 1-2, take 1 damage. I guess that's fine. And then we can use Feed the Swarm on the 1-2, lose a life, which isn't a big deal. Play out the Teeter Peak Ambusher to hold off the 2-1. And then just take 2 in the air, which I can be okay with. Because this is going to be a very scary card. Ooh, Squad Commander. Okay, I definitely need to get rid of that. He doesn't have a full party at least, but he has a bunch of 1-1s, so I probably need to take out the 2-1 now and then vanquish the 3-3. Or just Thundering Spark Mage. It's okay, so this attack is kind of awkward. So it does imply a Subtle Strike. So if he does use Subtle Strike, I guess I'll use a Sneaking Guy to block it. Okay. Guess I'll just take 5. Probably need to play defense now. So I guess I can play the land. I can Spark Mage away the 3/2. Well, I guess I don't have enough mana, so never mind. Yeah, it's annoying having all this black mana but not being able to do anything with it. Yeah, I probably need to use a Subtle Strike, block the 3/2, chump, or I can Vanquish now, take out the 3/3, block. Yeah, just missing the second black mana wasn't good for us here. So, yeah, we're not in good shape. So I guess I'm forced to chump here. Or I can Thundering Spark Mage, take out the 3/2, and then maybe that's just better. Yeah, let's just do that. Forced to take 2, and I can still hold off some damage in the meantime, and then definitely gonna chump the 3/3. I can block everything else. Which one do I want to lose? The Teeter Peak Ambush or the Bug Catcher? Probably the Bug Catcher, since I don't think I'm gonna be aggressive at this point. So let's just fall down to hopefully no pump tricks here. But I'm gonna fall down to 1 at this point. Pretty annoying with the pump trick, of course, if he has one, so he needs to top deck 1. Soul Strike would suck, of course, but he probably has it, so yeah. Soul Strike is definitely an overperformer in this set. Alright, so just need our second black source, but overall, I think I tried my best. But it would still been pretty hard to beat him because I would need to Subtle Strike and then prevent 1 damage from happening, so we'll see. Five and 2, not bad. Just need to get to 7, which this deck definitely has potential to, so hopefully don't run into too many powerful opponents. And we can get there. Opening hand. So now we need red mana, but we do have a 2-drop and a 3-drop, so I think I'll try it. Just leave with the Black Loom Rogue tap so I can curve out. And I already have a Rogue on turn 2, so... Alright, hoping I get red mana, but I think on the play I need to keep something like this just to ensure I don't have to go down a card. Alright. Need red mana in 2 more turns. Then maybe we can set up like a nice Spark Mage or Rock Slide Sorcerer, and the Spark Mage can be quite strong. Vine Gecko definitely going to attack into that. Yeah, I guess if I attack for 2 here, and then next turn play Marine Blight Priest, I can Deadly Alliance away this Vine Gecko, which can be problematic. Although Vine Gecko is not going to be super amazing in green-white. I guess now with blue it's going to be pretty strong. Some powerful kicker synergies. So red mana would be amazing off the top. Unfortunately no red mana, so I guess I'll take out the Deadly Alliance away to Vine Gecko now. And then I can attack with the Expedition Skulker and offer trade. Because this card is going to be pretty powerful if I let him untap. He can just get his kicker spells for cheap. So yeah, like in this scenario, he could just kick a Bubble Snare for 3. I mean, and into the Royal, I mean, so... Okay, I guess I can attack and maybe play out the Nighthawk Scavenger. We'll see. Okay, rolling regrowth at instant speed, but that's only 1 blue, so I don't need to care about too much about any counter spells here for 1 mana. It doesn't exist, so now the Nighthawk Scavenger is a pretty powerful card. It enables Death Touch for the Expedition Skulker. So I could just attack in with the 2/2. I guess I can start swinging into 4/4 as well. Bloodchief's Thirst, pretty amazing. Do I attack with the 2/2 here? Probably not. Just keep the 2/2 back on defense to hold off the 5/4 and just attack for 4 here. Yeah, the Chief's Thirst unfortunately isn't going to do anything. I could just take 5. Like, there's a chance you could have a removal spell at instant speed for my Nighthawk Scavenger, and then I won't be able to enable Death Touch with this if he answers at instant speed. So not sure if I want to even block with the Skulker. I could just take 5 since I'm gaining a bunch of life anyways. If I can find red mana, that would be great, since I would be able to take out the Tazim Raptor or the Soaring Thought Thief. I'm hoping he attacks for 2 here, but he doesn't. So red mana is excellent. So what I can do now, I can Spark Mage for 3, or I can just kick the Bloodchief's Thirst. I guess I don't mind Spark Maging. I could Rock Slide first though, but I don't really see a reason to deal 1 damage to anything. So yeah, let's just Spark Mage here. I guess I'll take out Tazim Royal Mage because I can Bloodchief's Thirst away the 1/3 eventually, and we'll keep the 4/3 back because he can double block it, which I don't want. I actually don't mind him milling me as well. It doesn't really accomplish his goal of winning here. Tazri is pretty scary. So do I take out Tazri instead? I do want to take out the Soaring Thought Thief maybe, since that's probably going to enable, that's probably going to result in a double block, and I do need to get in for some damage. So maybe Tazri can stay back. I actually don't mind him staying back. And then we can, I don't mind just, which I have instant speed here. I'm hoping he doesn't have Subtle Strike, but I think I go for it. Okay, that resolved fairly quickly, so now what I can do is I can play Sneaking Guide into Pack Beast, get my party assembled, and then I guess I don't mind attacking for 2. He could trade here. Do I mind him trading? Actually, that's not even a good attack. Let's just attack for 4, maybe force a chump. And then the Sneaking Guide can give evasion to one of my 2-powered creatures. I don't really care about Tazri. It's just a fine defensive blocker at the end of the day. Okay, he's just going to play this to hold off my Tazim Raptor, so... Don't know why he's bouncing these lands back, so any removal spell off the top to take out these Raptors could be quite nice. Blood Price. Maybe I just play out the Sorcerer. I could just Fissure Wizard here. I guess I might as well just Blood Price, maybe. Find some answers for these flyers to maybe get across. Bugcatcher, probably need to land. Or just play double Bugcatcher next turn. And then... yeah, I guess I'll take the land. I've been missing my land drops for sure. Play land. And then I guess I don't mind just attacking for 2. I think I'll attack for 2 at this point. Maybe offer a trade for the flyer or one of his ground creatures. I guess he's willing to block with a 5/4. This does imply that he wants to keep the flyers back to hold off the 4/3. The rolling regrowth is interesting. Hopefully he doesn't get the 7 for the board wipe. I mean, he could. Once he does, it's probably game over. I mean, I probably need to stay back then. Maybe just use a Sneaking Guide, get in for 2. If he wants to use a board wipe, then double rolling regrowth. That's quite interesting. Splashing for black. So it's like a white-green landfall deck, splashing for black and blue. Not something I would necessarily do. He can start activating Basri. Okay, just another random flyer, so I might as well just grant one of my creatures evasion at this point. So if I attack with both, he can chump, he can get some good blocks in. I guess it's a good turn to just play the Rock Slide Sorcerer, activate the Sneaking Guide, get in for 2 with the Thundering Spark Mage, and then next turn maybe I can just ping him to death with the Rock Slide Sorcerer, or just give it evasion, attacking for 2. I mean, he needs triple white for the board wipe, so I think he's gonna lose anyway, so good games. But, you know, you can find creatures off the top 2 with Tazri. So Tazri is a powerful bomb. Since it can be cast for very cheap, and it can be used as a value engine in the late game. But unfortunately, yeah. Okay, I don't mind him self-mill, sure. Guess I don't really care about much here. Could have a subtle strike, so I guess I'll block here. Might of Marasa, sure, still going to result in a trade. And then I guess I'll just do the honors, play the Fissure Wizard, deal 1 damage to him, and then... Alright, sweet. Alright, so 1 more victory and we'll get to 7, so I'm not going to waste any more time here. Let's just hit the play button, and then hopefully we win the last game, and then this can be a pretty nice upload for some of you to watch. But now you guys can see the power of Black Red Party and why I took the Spark Mage. It's just better on curve, honestly. I think the mill decks just require too much setup, whereas if we're just curving out the Black Red Party deck, we can just lead to explosive starts. So yeah, this is a weird hand, no red mana, but I guess the Stonework Pack Beast can fix for red, so I'll play the Black Loom Rogue tapped, so I can curve out into 2-drop into 3-drop, and hopefully I can get there. Red mana, okay. Yeah, I guess I'll play that next turn, so not bad. Opponent could have that 1-drop that mills, so might not be sure if I want to attack next turn. Play Mountain. I mean, I could attack, and then if he uses it, I can Vanquish. I mean, he could also have a counter spell, so I'm not sure if I want to do anything here. Maybe I'm fine if he answers this, so then he won't have mana to counter, but nah, let's just play it out. If he counters this, then I can attack for 2. And if not, then I'll just pass. Because I feel like he is a 1/1 flash guy. Definitely feels like it, because he's holding up priority. So it's probably not smart to attack it with the 2/1. However, let's see what's the Ardent Electromancer going to do. It's going to provide me with 3 red, so I should be able to cast Blood Price with it, so that's quite nice. Let's just do that. And then it hopefully doesn't kill anything at instant speed here, so then I can use Blood Price. And then get some good playables off the top. I guess I'll take the Sky Dancer and Mountain, because I desperately need a Mountain at this point. And then there's no flash creatures that I'm aware of in the skies that can deal with this Nighthawk Scavenger. Could see maybe a Vanquish the weak, so he's probably waiting for me to attack with only the Nighthawk Scavenger and use Vanquish on it, so I don't get in for the extra 2. But yeah, I don't want to lose the Packward Beast to a 1/1. So this does imply he doesn't have a removal spell for the Nighthawk Scavenger. Otherwise, I think he would have used it. I could also main phase the Sky Dancer next turn just to put some cards in the graveyard and hit harder. So managed to establish the board quite nicely. Could see a Bubble Snare on the Nighthawk Scavenger. Opponent passes a turn. So he could have like an Into the Royal here. So, do I mind attacking the Ardent Electromancer? I don't. I could also main phase this, but there's a chance he could have some sort of weird flash trick. So I think I'm going to play it safe and just attack with Nighthawk and the Ardent Electromancer, and then if he tries anything here, I knew he has it, so we're going to let this resolve. And if he tries to kill the 3-2, I'll just vanquish the 1-1 away. Alright, so he's probably trying to do some sort of double block on the Ardent Electromancer, so I knew it. Let's hope he does a double block here. And then I can vanquish here to blow him out. Hopefully he could have a shell shield here as well, which can be really annoying. But if it resolves, then then the Nighthawk Scavenger can grow to 2. He won't be able to kill my Ardent Electromancer. I can get him for 2, play the Bug Catcher as well. So yeah, I was expecting him to have 2 of those. It was kind of awkward how he just passed, how there was a slight pause on my turn 2. So that was quite nice. But now he did mill out some good cards: Thundering Spark Mage, another Grotag Bug Catcher. But maybe I can. There's definitely a lot more removal in the deck still, so I don't have to worry too much. But we managed to get the extra point of damage, save our Ardent Electromancer. Alright, just playing that without kicker, so that's also, he's also going down with card advantage. He has the Lion's that away because it's going to be too strong, okay. Don't mind just attacking for 3. He doesn't have any good blocks. Keep land in hand in case he has a Mind Rot effect, and then I can even flash into Sky Dancer. Actually, I could just play out land anyway, since I'm playing the flashes in end of turn, so yeah. And then even if he Mind Rots me, I can still he only gets 1 card still, so that's pretty annoying. So the opponent has good defenses up, so I guess I don't mind just flashing the Sky Dancer. Maybe I need to find some removal off the top. Okay, Shower Skull Minotaur is excellent. Don't mind if I do. And then I guess, what do I want to attack with? Guess I don't mind attacking like this. The 3-4 probably needs to go in front of the 5-2. The 1-1 probably goes in front of the 2-1, and then he might have to chump here. But this is not a bad attack. He's probably going to sack this, but I don't have 8 in the graveyard, so he won't be able to get value off of this, so that's quite nice. Single black can't really do anything. There's Bloodchief's Thirst and Blood Vecting, but that's sorcery speed, so yeah, not some bad trades. He also didn't get to draw here, but he does make his 4-4 into a 4-4 Menacer, but I don't really care. He's kind of the one on the back foot, so Sure-Footed Infiltrator, okay. Okay, Songman Treachery is excellent. I guess I don't mind just stealing the 4-4 at this point and getting in for a huge attack. And this should be lethal. So I'm getting in for 4 guaranteed. I guess he can tap this. I guess I can untap it. And then this is good games here. Because even if he chumps this, then I can get in for a huge ton of damage. So yeah, not bad against a rank 50 Mythic. The Black-Red Party decks are quite strong. And I even knew he had the Zulaport Cutthroats for 1 mana, so, and I left up the Vanquish the Weak in order to blow him out, so, yeah. Sometimes you just gotta try your best, and you can get there. So yeah, nice 7-2 video. Haven't made too many videos so far, so hopefully some of you are improving your draft skills. And yeah, we'll just do a quick overview, run down this deck. 16 lands, this is 13 actually, but the 16 includes the Black Bloom Rogue, the Kazul's Fury, and the Songman Treachery. The Hagra Mulling I won't count as a land because it's a card that most likely will end up playing for the most part, maybe like 80% of the time, whereas I wouldn't mind playing the Black Bloom Rogue, Kazul's Fury, and the Songman Treachery tap, so this is essentially 16 lands. And we do have a relatively low curve, so I didn't mind just going 16. A bunch of 2-drops, of course, a bunch of 3s, which are fine, and then our curve kind of rounds out at 4, which is not a whole lot. The Shower Skull Minotaur mostly is going to be like a 4-3-drop, and if I do well enough, it will end up as like a 2-drop if I can enable the full party. So yeah, not a bad deck for a pretty low land count. Even managed to play like 3 tap lands, and we still managed to get to 7. We have 1 card draw spell, a bunch of removal, one in the form of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then to a lesser extent, the Thundering Spark Mage can do a lot of work. 8, Scorch. I mean, I guess the Rock Slide Sorcerer is also great removal. So yeah, pretty good deck. So I think we're just gonna crack some packs, pretend we are drafting Zendikar Rising, and then maybe I can do a Kaladesh draft in the next video. So let's claim our prize. And yeah, if you looked over at the draft, I could have been blue-black mill, but the arguments against that is I think the black-red deck is a lot more consistent. I think blue-black takes a lot more setup to get going. The black-red deck, I think, has a higher win rate because you're able to curve out with Bug Catchers and Malakir Blood Priest and win through aggression, damage, and evasiveness. Whereas I guess the blue-black can also win with evasiveness, but most of the time if you're going to be in the blue-black deck, you're mostly going to play some sort of control game plan, or I guess you can play an aggressive tempo variant, but most of the time in blue-black your game plan is mostly to mill the opponent as an alternate win condition as opposed to attacking. Whereas I think attacking and just getting the life point down to 0 is a lot more consistent overall against milling. I mean, we could have been, again, a decent blue-black deck, but I think black-red is just much more synergistic. There's a lot more, not a lot more synergy and payoffs for it and enablers for it at common as opposed to the blue-black mill deck. And I think it's just easier to piece together overall. That's why I chose a Spark Mage over the crab. But either way, the blue-black deck could have been a viable arc strategy, and I wouldn't fault anyone for going the blue-black route. But yeah, it's still I still think black-red is better. And Pack 1, Pick 1, this is a pretty interesting pack. There's a Fearless Fledgling if I want to set up some sort of Naya landfall deck, and it's just a good 2-drop overall. Kabira Takedown, Bubble Snare, both solid removal. Probably still prefer Kabira Takedown since it can be played as a mono dual face land. Yeah, overall I haven't been too impressed by the landfall decks, but the Fearless Fledgling is definitely a good reason to go into the landfall archetype, since if you can cast it exactly on 2, it can get out of hand. But if you can cast in the late game, it is kind of slow. So not sure if I would take it over Kabira Takedown. Overall, I've been more impressed by Party in this set than Landfall, but one can make the argument taking the Fearless Fledgling over to Kabira Takedown, but I wouldn't know. Probably still take the Fearless Fledgling, since it could have the highest upside if we for some sort of Naya Landfall deck. Here, a big fan of Skyclave Plunder, the Azorius party decks. There's also Canby Bailoff as a good landfall creature. The pack doesn't seem too exciting overall. Vanguard, pretty good if you end up in white-red. I wouldn't recommend it in the black-red party deck, since this is mostly going to be a card that's going to be great in a deck full of warriors. So it's mostly like a red-white-gold card, but I don't really like it outside of it, so this is not a very flexible option. There's a Synchronized Spellcraft for the red party decks, which can deal a little bit of damage and can be okay removal. But, you know, Prowling Feldar is also quite nice if you end up in the Landfall deck. This pack also not super amazing. Wouldn't know what to pack 1, pick 1. Probably take the Vanguard anyway, since it's cheaper to cast in this Synchronized Spellcraft. And there's a chance I can end up in red-white, and this can be a powerful 2-drop. Malakir Blood Priest stands out. Coon Warrior is okay. Nice flexibility as a multiple face land, but yeah, Malakir Blood Priest has been a powerful, impressive performer. Definitely excellent in black-red, excellent in the white-black life gain decks. Just a really good 2-drop that can sustain, get you ahead in life, and also trade off. So this card is really excellent. And this is the choice, Journey to Oblivion over Deadly Alliance. Probably take Deadly Alliance over Journey to Oblivion. I think black is the best color in this set. I think black is stronger than white in this set. And, you know, one can make the argument that Journey to Oblivion can answer any non-land permanent, whereas the Deadly Alliance can only answer creatures and planeswalkers. But for the most part, you're going to be using Journey to Oblivion onto a creature anyways. So it's not like it's too different from Deadly Alliance. Deadly Alliance is instant speed, which is a lot better, in my opinion. Whereas this Journey to Oblivion is that sorcery speed. I think black is overall just a better color than white in this set because you have ways to reanimate your bombs, you have powerful removal spells at common, whereas in whites you do have decent creatures at common, but Nahiri's Binding is not a good removal spell in white for the most part, since it's double white and one generic. It's sorcery speed. It's an enchantment, so it can be interfered with if the opponent decides to bounce it or use the black removal spell Feed to Swarm to destroy enchantment. So Journey to Oblivion is not without faults. The opponent could also main deck like a disenchant to deal with this, which is, you know, does have its downsides, but it's definitely my second choice here if it wasn't for Deadly Alliance. Deadly Alliance is at common, but it's just better, I think. And black is, again, just a better color in the set. Forsaken Monument, not necessarily the most playable in the set. Kind of a dead mythic, so to speak. Paratactician, best in red-white. Again, it's going to be an archetype like our pack with Goma Fata Vanguard, where you're trying to just play a bunch of warriors, and this can be a decent 3-drop that can grow over time, but still take Deadly Alliance over Journey to Oblivion. Scourge is okay. I don't think it's super amazing. The problem is, in order to make the Scourge large, you either have to be both players kind of have to have low life totals, so you do need to kind of damage yourself, which is not something you want to do in this set because there's just a lot of life gain creatures, especially in black whites, and there's also Malakir Blood Priest in the party decks that can gain you a ton of life. So I think this card is a trap. I don't think it's that good. I think out of this pack, I would probably just take the Black Bloom Rogue as a nice Mola Dual Face land. The Skyclave Cleric is kind of close too, since it's also a decent cleric to enable party on turn 2, a fine ground blocker, and also land. But I've said before, I think black is just a better color than white. I think the fact that this is Menace can be a little bit better, definitely better than the 1-3. It's a decent ground blocker, and it has upside if you end up in blue-black, being able to mill the opponent, whereas the Skyclave Cleric is just going to mostly enable life gain and party synergies, but the Black Bloom Rogue is also a payoff for the blue-black mill deck, and can also enable party, and can also get in for a bit of damage. So yeah, I'll probably take the Black Bloom Rogue. Scourge, I think it's a trap. If you kick this, I guess you can kick this and make both players lose their life, but it can be a bit of a downside. The problem with Scourge is it doesn't have trample, so if you're facing against a deck full of flyers and you just kick the Scourge and you get both your life total low and you're looking to beat down the Scourge, they can just chump block it all day, and then they can eventually just find a flyer to kill you. So I don't really like the Scourge at all, and then yeah, both players need to be at low life total to even make this a creature with high power and high toughness. Of course, if you're far behind, you could play this as a nice wall and a creature, but if you're going to be far behind in terms of life total, you're already kind of in a dire situation. So this card, I don't think it's good enough, honestly. I guess never mind. Even if you're at a low life total, the opponent could have a high life total, and this is going to still be small. So never mind. It's still going to be pretty bad if you're back far behind. So I don't really like Scourge. I think it's overrated. Thwart the Grave, Mythic Uncommon. There's also Bloodchief's Thirst, which is very excellent. I wouldn't call this a Mythic Uncommon, but a very good one. Best commons pack is Into the Roll, but I would still probably take Thwart the Grave over the Bloodchief's Thirst. Arguments being, black already has a lot of amazing removal at common. The Bloodchief's Thirst I would definitely take over any removal spell at common. Feed the Swarm, Vanquish the Weak, Subtle Strike, Deadly Alliance. But now we're Thwart the Grave. Thwart the Grave is just a powerful 2-for-1 in the late game, being able to reanimate your bombs at instantly, and then being able to just enable enter the battlefield effects can be quite strong. Like for the Malakir Blood Priest, getting in multiple drains. Yeah, it's just going to basically get back your best bombs from the battlefield. Of course, it's better in a deck full of party, so you can get the discounts off of it, and then you can guarantee yourself to at least get 2 creatures if both of them are, if a non-party member and a party member is in the graveyard. But even if you cast this for 5 or even 6 mana, it's still good because this is mostly like a late game card anyways, where you kind of want your creatures to die. Where you're banking on your creatures to die so you can reanimate them back. So Thwart the Grave, I think, is considered Mythic Uncommon, along with the Roost of Drakes and the the Roost of Drakes and the Low Mage's Domination in the set. Bloodchief's Thirst is excellent removal, though. I would still probably take Thwart over Bloodchief's Thirst, since black has a plethora of removal spells at common. So, yep, just take the Thwart the Grave if this was pack 1 pick 1. And then, this pack is not great. Probably take the Zov's Consumption. I do like this card. I think it's pretty good. It's a nice flexible molded dual face land, and then you can use this to drain the opponent to get in for lethal in the late game, or use this to stabilize a bit. But mostly going to be at its best where you're looking to like deal a bunch of damage to the opponent and using this to finish them off. But the flexibility of the land cannot be underestimated. Field Research, Subtle Strike, all pretty decent. Probably still take Field Research over Subtle Strike since card advantage is usually just better than a straight up 1-for-1. This is not really a 2-for-1. I think this card is like a 1.5-for-1 for the most part, since you do enhance a creature. But if that creature that you get enhanced gets killed, it's just it ends up as like a 2-for-2 anyway. So, but I'm a big fan of Subtle Strike. Is a decent way to punish 1 toughness in a set. Makes combat very difficult, and it's another reason why black is very amazing in this set. I wouldn't even mind main decking 2 copies, but generally speaking, if I already have my first Subtle Strike copy, I don't want to prioritize the second one as highly, but I would still take the second one. So there you have it, another nice 7-win video for Zendikar Rising. Probably gonna do Kaladesh Remaster Draft because it's been a long time. I don't really like the bot drafts at all. I did some Throne of Eldraine bot draft earlier, but yeah, it just wasn't fun. The bots really have some don't really read signals too well, and they pass you a bunch of weird random stuff. Whereas if you're going to draft with a human pod, they're going to mostly try hard and draft a respective archetypes, so you can kind of find the open lane and get rewarded if you're able to read the signals. But there you have it. Nice 7-win videos. Hope you guys enjoyed the content, and have a wonderful day. Take care. Bye.